What is going on, guys? Noah Brewer back again with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the steps that you need to take after you start getting sales. Now, if you've seen my product testing videos, you know that I start with just $5 a day. I do worldwide. I'm not going to get into too much about that because I have another video called how to launch a new product with Facebook ads, and I talk about everything on there when it comes to creating the ads. I actually start a campaign live with you, so go check that out. But basically, today we're going to be talking about you start your campaign, and then after 3 or 4 days, you have 3 or 4 sales, and maybe if your margin is high enough, it's looking profitable. Maybe it's not profitable. Maybe it's breaking even. Whatever. The good news is you may have found a winner, and that's honestly a good sign. You know, when a product has sales enough for you to think that it's worth running, it's usually a good sign. But it doesn't necessarily mean that you have a winner. So we're going to be talking about the couple of things to tell whether you have a winner or not, and what you can do to progress it as a product and start scaling it. But what you want to do is start adding a new ad set every single day in your main campaign. So you have that worldwide campaign. You probably started with 7 or 10 ad sets, and you have 3 or 4 sales. Cool. So what you want to start doing is start adding new interests to that campaign. You can take current interests that did well, and you can mix them up. I talk about this in my 0 to 6 figure series, and I'm also going to talk about this in my 0 to 7 figure series. But yeah, I mean, basically you just keep adding a new ad set every day, whether you're testing new interests, mixing them up, adding engaged shoppers, or getting rid of engaged shoppers, whatever you're doing. And you're basically just doing that so that every day you're opening up a new opportunity to get another sale. Now, what you want to see is at least 1 out of 5 of these new ad sets working and getting sales. Now, this means that, you should be finding a new winning ad set every week. Now, this is very slow, and, on most winners, it'll be more like 2 out of 5 or 3 out of 5. This is kind of like what tells me, is this going to be something that I'm going to be able to scale? If I'm adding new ad sets, are the new ones just trash, or is it, are the new ones doing good? And that's one of the things that I use to tell me if it's going to be a winner. It's also one of the things that I use to help me get to 20 to 30 sales on a worldwide campaign. Now, I'm launching a video about when to test higher budgets, and this is more about that foundation that you want to build up front. And the foundation that you want to build is basically, 2 to 5, 5 to 10 sales a day, consistently profitable, so that you can start testing new things and just reinvesting the profits. And it's really that simple. Once I have a product that's doing pretty good in the first few days, I just start adding to the campaign. And I don't add 3 ad sets. I don't start scaling budgets. I don't add, I don't duplicate the best one 5 times. I don't do any of that stuff. I just simply keep testing new interests, trying to expand trying to expand more horizontally rather than spending more money on one interest. And the main purpose of that is to build that foundation up front. And there are a few rules that you want to follow while you're doing this. So as you're adding 1 new ad set a day, if an ad set spends $15 with no sales, turn it off. If you fail to do this, then your cost per purchase is never going to go down. If you just leave your ad sets on that are not working, you're just going to keep losing money. So just make sure that you follow this rule. I see that most winning ad sets actually make a sale within their first 3 days. And we're doing $5 budgets, so that's equal to $15. So that's usually a rule that I follow to the T. The other rule is basically pay attention to what interests are working. And as you're adding new interests, try to stay close to what's working good. If you see that magazines are doing really well, test a few more magazines. If you see that a certain type of brand is doing really well, test more of that, test more brands. And this is something that people don't do. They try to expand out and, try to find something that might work better. Just once you have something that is working, pay attention to it and start doing more of that thing. And if you can follow these rules, then you should have no problem taking that campaign to 20 to 30 sales so that you can continue breaking it down later on and adding new campaigns and building that foundation that we were talking about. So expectations, usually a winning ad set will make a sale in its first 3 days. We already talked about this, so I'm just going to skip over it. Your first campaign should be profitable or breaking even by the 5th day of its running. Now, the reason why I say this is because I've been testing a lot of $50 margins and up. So I'm not really messing with a lot of stuff below that level. So usually in the first 3 to 5 days, it'll be profitable. And even if it is breaking even during that time span, it's usually not a winner, even though breaking even is not the worst thing that can happen, simply because breaking even can still be turned into a profit if you play your cards right and expand outwards and all that. And I talk about that in my 0 to 6 figure series, and I'm also going to be talking about that in my 0 to 7 figure series. It just continues to lose money and not get sales. You may want to consider moving on from the product. Now, I know that there's a lot of people that once they have a product that has sales, they like sticking with it and trying to make it work because, oh, it's not the product, it's the strategy, yada yada. But that's not, like, from my experiences, that's not how this works. Basically, you have a product that sells good or you don't. Most of the time, no matter what strategy you follow, if a product's going to be a winning product for you, it's going to be a winning product, period. Mainly because it's more about how the ads optimize rather than the actual product. You can have a product that has, 10 other people have tested it and it hasn't worked, and you can throw it up and it can do really good just because your pixel is optimizing better than theirs did. And this is why, if a campaign is just losing money and it's not getting enough sales and it just doesn't seem to be going anywhere, I just move on from the product because I don't like wasting my time on that stuff, because I know that there are products that will be profitable from day one. One more thing is my 0 to 6 figure series is dropping soon, estimated about a week or two. But basically, I'm going to be breaking down my entire strategy from taking my e-com stores from basically nothing to multi 7 figures in sales. Now, there's been a lot of stores. I've taken over 15 stores to 6 figures, multi 6 figures. I've taken a store to over $1 million in sales in just a few months. And I want to break down everything for you. This was just a little taste of one part of that series would be I'm going to be talking about how to find products, how to launch products, what to do after they start getting sales. It's pretty much going to be the same as this video. How to progress the product all the way up to doing 1K a day, 2K a day, 5K a day, 10K a day, and also how to duplicate the process over and over and over so that you can have numerous stores doing 1K a day, numerous stores doing 5K a day. And this is basically how I've expanded and made so much money from e-commerce in just a year and a half, is basically by building a strategy that's duplicatable and then duplicating it multiple times across multiple different stores, multiple different products, because that provides consistency and predictability. But as for this video, I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, drop a like. Let me know if you like this video. I'll make more like this. If you do, I really appreciate you. It helps me out a lot. But as for this video, this is Noah Brewer, and I'm out. Peace.